please elaborate on the objective to educate the highest creation that the gift of free will brings responsibilities?
Yes. Now, this is interesting because it just sort of elaborates a bit more on free will. Remember in the previous Q&A on the human law hangover, Rachel asked that question about like free will and isn't somebody encroaching on your free will? The reality is God has given you free will to do whatever loving thing you wish to do. Right? But he hasn't given you free will to do whatever unloving thing you wish to do. While you are able to do whatever unloving thing you wish to do, God is providing some kind of restriction upon that. And God must do this in order to maintain order in his universe. Because if he did not place a restriction on your unloving use of will, he would then be impacting upon other people's free will. So many of you forget that it's not, the gift of free will was given to all humanity, not just to you. And the gift of free will is given to all humanity equally. Not more to you and less to someone else. And so all of God's laws are set up in such way that your free will is measured equally with another person's. So when you are acting out of harmony with their operation of their free will, you are naturally breaking the law. And you can claim that you've got free will to do it, but the reality is God's laws are going to restrict it because you are now not being equal in the way in which you're exercising your will and valuing your will over others. So it's very important to understand that underlying principle. So we need to come to understand and value our personal will the same as we value somebody else's. Now, can you see straight away, if I desired to do that, I would never force another person through manipulation, coercion, or any other way. I would never force another person to take an action that I want them to take. I would only inform them of the truth and let them take the actions they wish to take. Can you see that? If I valued their will as much as my own. So many of you come up to me and say things like, what do you think I should do in the future? And I'm going, hang on a sec. Now, if I answer this question and say what I think you should do for the future, I am now basically not valuing your ability to make your own choice. So all I can really say is inform you. So I say something like, what does God want you to do for the future? Wouldn't you be wise to discover what that might be? Or doesn't God want you to follow your desires in harmony with love? What are your desires that are in harmony with love? Why don't you do those? Isn't that the only answer I can give? If I give any other answer, what am I doing? I'm now impacting your free will decision, which potentially is going to result in a consequence for my soul. You see? So this is why I'm very circumspect about many of your questions. And this is why all I'm doing is advising you based upon the law about what can be done, rather than telling you what you should be doing. Does that make sense? So all I can say to you is if you're breaking law, you're going to cause a lot of penalty. If you're breaking the law and affecting this room, then all I can do is say, stop affecting this room. You need to go because you're affecting this room. But I can't control your desire to do the right thing or the wrong thing. That's up to you. You need to make choices and decisions there. And a self-responsible person would do so. Whereas a person who's not self-responsible will always try to put the decision on somebody else. And we've had a lot of problems with that in the past, where you are trying to put the decision making upon me so that you can avoid the responsibility of the outcome. But I also observed that when you have a good outcome, you want to take the credit for it too. Right? So that's an issue that needs to be addressed. And you can see, if you were fully self-responsible, you would be able to take the credit for the things that you actually did do that were good. And you should be responsible and be corrected for the things that you did not take responsibility for, that or did do that were out of harmony with love. Can you see that? Yeah. So another wonderful principle